Hi everyone, it's your boy Zach, and this is an emergency video. Uh, I I'm actually kind of in shock, and I really feel like so. I work in cybersecurity, and one of the things is that there's one aspect of it you wouldn't think is legitimate, but is, and it's intuition. And you say this probing attack, this anomaly, on the face of it, it might not seem that bad, but I'm gonna look. I'm gonna go through the logs. I'm gonna look at things more because my spider sense, my antenna, everything's flaring, and this is big. So SJW Marvel is 100% back to life. Our victories of the last 6 months have all been dashed. Axel Alonso wasn't fired. He quit in the middle of the work week. Like everyone, nobody gets fired. They just quit to not have a job. But everything's fine. And CB Cebulski was announced, and then immediately ICEMAN, America Chavez, Unstoppable Wasp, all of these Marvel SJW books, just one after the other. Female Hawkeye, canceled, 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 canceled. And we said, oh, it looks like they listened. It looks like we won. And the thing about these SJWs is they're very conniving and they collude a lot. They will do things that will lose them incredible amounts of money if it fosters their politics. So America Chavez was canceled, Iceman was canceled. All of these horrible trash books were canceled. And now every single one of those characters is back. Unstoppable Wasp is in Ant-Man and the Wasp. She's also right here coming back. They announced this yesterday, and I thought this was weird. One of the things they keep saying is back by popular demand. And it's absolutely not true because these books were canceled for low sales. So yesterday they put this out. You asked for it, you got it. The Unstoppable Wasp comic series returns this fall with the exact same writer from when it was canceled, and Guru Hero. Now, Guru Hero is actually very, very good. It's a team. Guru Hero was supposed to be the artist for Unbeatable Squirrel Girl. Erica Henderson supposedly threw a little shit fit and was given the sole artist gig. But Unstoppable Wasp was not canceled for the art. It's canceled for the horrible writing. I made several videos showing what an absolute laughingstock it is. So it says right here, you asked for it, you got it. And then they do these quotes, and it's very, 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 very important about the quotes because number one, they are lies, but they're being done to appease. You're going to see. Whitley creates an instantly likable character in Nadia, relentlessly positive, and actually a lot of fun. Everything a good Marvel can be. It's an absolute laughingstock, and Jeremy Whitley was horrible in it. But we're going to see why this was done. And so Marvel's March schedule cancellations increased diversity woes. So they talked about how America, Iceman, Gwenpool, Hawkeye were all canceled, along with Black Panther series. This is Sci-Fi Wire. You might say, what's the deal with Sci-Fi Wire? Well, Sci-Fi Wire, even though it's run by SJWs, it is considered normie. This is getting out to the regular press. We saw this one. Marvel exec insists wave of cancellations not motivated by book's diversity. The readers ultimately decide what survives, says Marvel chief. So Joe Quesada basically did one of those things where he basically said, we tried these stories where you just say, America Chavez, brown, Latina, lesbian. And then you hired a Latina lesbian to write her, and it had horrible sales. And then it got canceled like a book should. But now America Chavez is back in West Coast Avengers. Gwenpool is back in West Coast Avengers. Female Hawkeye is back in West Coast Avengers. Nothing is ever allowed to die if it exists for political reasons. So we saw Polygon did an article on it. Comic Speak did an article on it. IO9, again, IO9 is run by SJWs, but it is considered to be mainstream and normie. And of course, they had to couch it like this. It sure looks like Marvel's canceling both of its comics starring queer characters. Well, it did, but not because they were queer, because the books were absolutely awful. Now, this brings us to ICEMAN by Sina Grace. And this is a disgusting travesty because ICEMAN, I just did a Marvel Before SJW yesterday with Uncanny X-Men 281. It was when Will Portacio took over co-applied and writing. And it was really excellent. And we got to see ICEMAN as he is, as the real version of ICEMAN is he's a young man about town straight guy. They decided they wanted to make ICEMAN gay. This has been long in the making since the 1990s. Scott Lobdell was trying to get it. There wasn't anything gay about ICEMAN. It was just like, well, we can't do Jean. They wanted an original X-Men to be gay. So we can't do Jean. We can't do Cyclops. Archangel is too obvious. Let's just make it ICEMAN. So they literally having like him dressing in like pink and purple denim and going shopping with Jean Grey, and she was saying, "Oh, you're so great to go shopping with." And then they on high basically said, "Stop it." So they gave up for about 15, 20 years, but then it came back. Bendis brought it back, and then it was handed, even though Bendis created the idea, brought it back, it was handed to Sina Grace. Sina Grace's main claim to fame is he was one of the editors on Walking Dead a couple years ago. And then he was handed this, not because he was a talented writer, but because he's gay, ICEMAN gay. The problem with this is that, let's see what it says. You asked for it, you got it. ICEMAN returns this fall. Acclaim for ICEMAN. New York Times, a compact, character-centered superhero comic. AIPT, each member of the creative team delivers impressive attention to detail. Pop matters. It's an important story to tell. So it was a horrible story. It was taking a character who was straight, who we got to see his thought balloons for 50 years. We got to see his romances, his loves, his heartbreak. And all of a sudden he became gay. Not bi. Not he had a hidden bi side that was in thought balloons that we didn't see. But that he was 100% gay. And not just gay, cartoonishly gay. 1990s sitcom gay. Shallow, pathetic, a complete joke. I've gotten emails of people, normal gay men, masculine gay men. And despite what you see on TV, most gay men are masculine. I used to live in Hell's Kitchen. It's the gayest part of New York City. And I would see like a flouncy, effeminate gay guy like once a week. And he was usually at one of the bars, and he was usually not a local. Everyone else, they all looked like just regular guys. So we're going to get into the interview, and I'm going to get more and more verklempt as time goes on. So here it is. Backed by popular demand. Excuse me, I have a question. Did they redefine what the word popular means? Because we all know what happened. It was a couple tastemakers and gatekeepers. It was Kieran Shakes. It was Tim Doyle's. It was the Tess Fowlers. It was New York Times article by someone who obviously just skimmed a couple issues. So here is ICEMAN number 1. It's back. Writer Sina Grace and artist Nathan Stockman present a brand new ICEMAN series. You just had a brand new ICEMAN series last year. It was given good advertising and marketing. It was given 11 issues or so, and it was canceled for incredibly low sales. Not just low sales, but plummeting sales. By the way, sales can go up. Batman White Knight went up as time went by. ICEMAN is back, following the groundbreaking 2017 series. I don't think it was really groundbreaking. All the ground it broke was from Will and Grace, and that they did. It just basically was Will and Grace as a superhero book. Beloved by readers and critics alike. You lied multiple times before the comma. The sentence isn't even over. Bobby Drake is set to make his ongoing solo series return on September 12th. Written by Sina with art by Nathan Stockman, this new series kicks off a re-energized chapter in the life and times of the mutant hero. It's good timing, too, because someone is hunting the Morlocks for fun, and it's up to Bobby Drake to prevent another potential mutant massacre. But who's behind this horrific hunt? You wouldn't believe it if we told you. Guest starring Bishop. Get ready for more ICEMAN. And then we get a really, really long interview. This is my lunch break. I don't know. I make my own hours. I'll just work later. What's it like knowing that readers connected with your Bobby Drake on such a profound level? Sina Grace says, I'm amazed that the series connected with an audience so much that we defied odds and got another arc. So number one, you're lying. It had horribly low sales. It was mainly known for being a laughingstock. The only people who touted its existence obviously had either barely read it or never read it. But here's what you said. You got another arc. So an arc is basically a storyline. This implies that it is in fact a limited series, and he knows it. And they're just... Okay, so the whole process of writing the first one, I was focused on doing my best work and crafting a series that sat well as a standalone. I had blinders on. Apathy is just a huge force in this world, so when letters kept coming after the final issue, in my DMs, on Tumblr, to the Marvel offices, at comic conventions, that was when I had to ask, is this the impact other superhero books have on their readers? My heart warmed when gay Twitter stood by my choice to have Bobby irrationally want to move across the country for a guy. They saw that insane puppy love in themselves. When the New York Times article hit, that's when I was like, oh, we did something special. And people took notice. Tight. TLDR, it feels pretty chill. So what actually happened? Nobody read this book except for me and Mim Headroom. When it was canceled, it became Marvel canceling gay series. It was also announced Marvel starting gay series, but they did what SJWs always do. They only bought the first issue. They took a picture of it on Twitter, #representation, and then they never bought anything else. So Marvel says, similarly, why do you connect so deeply to Iceman? I fell in love with Iceman because he's incredibly powerful and loved by his peers, and he just seems to get in his way more than anything. That's completely relatable. He and I both use comedy to deflect. My friend described Ryan Reynolds as like teetering on annoying and endearing at all times. Bobby seems like a more benign and adorable version of that. Okay, clap warning. Your Bobby and you, who this Bobby is literally, it's just author insert, are 100 times more annoying than Ryan Reynolds is at his most annoying. I'm not calling myself Ryan Reynolds hot, by the way, unless half-Persian guys with thinning hair is your jam. But Bobby is that hot, and I connect to him in the sense that we've both been guilty of hiding our light to make others more comfortable. No. What you did is you're writing a completely different character. You're lazy, and you said, you know who would be fabulous as Iceman? Me. Don't do any of the research. Don't write him in character. Don't even try to marry up the new version. Don't even have him say he goes back to acting like a normal masculine guy. By the way, plot twist, Sina, gay men can be masculine. I know it's blowing your mind, but it's true. The majority of them are. Sorry. Marvel says, as a mutant, a hero, and a person, Bobby Drake represents a lot. What do you see as his defining characteristic? Sina Gray says, temper tantrums and a sense of humor. Bah ha 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 ha. He actually types that. I'd say that his relentless optimism, candor, and inability to see personality flaws that exist right under his nose, those things make up Bobby Drake to me. Similarly, I love that he's so ultra-powerful and kind of relegated to the back of the scene. That's something we only lightly explored toward the end of the original run. Bobby's a lot more self-confident and comfortable in his skin this time around, so I'm here to flex those ass muscles of his, he just said muscles, and show off some real badass moments with his powers. We may even unlock some new ones along the way. You gotta read to find it out. I'm the only one who's going to be reading, and I'm just going to be doing it for roast videos. Where will we find Iceman at the start of his new series? Will readers see some familiar supporting faces? Iceman got to try his hand being a leader in the pages of X-Men Gold. While he's fine enough running a team, he knows it's not where his strengths are best put to use. He's still sorting out how he fits in this world when he discovers that Morlocks are just disappearing in the sewers. What he uncovers in the catacombs is far more terrifying than he could have imagined. From there, things get really bad. Readers can expect to see more relationship evolution with Kitty Pryde. So, Kitty Pryde kept showing up for no reason in that he had once dated her. Except for she was just like, you go! I always knew you were gay, that's why I dated you. And it made no sense. And of course, it was the very masculinized version of Kitty Pryde. Bobby Drake got feminized, Kitty Pryde got masculinized. And this was 100% weirdo, coastal elite gender propaganda. They are not always going to be on the same side of an argument. For anyone who read interviews with me answering the question of who I'd really want to play with, you just wait for the cover unveil for issue 2. Ooh. Yeah, nobody cares about that. Oh, and Jubilee makes a cute cameo at the end of issue 1. Am I allowed to share that? I like how this is obviously an email interview where they never went to go. So he's just like talking to a phone where the other person hung up on the other line. Bishop teams up with Bobby at the start of a new book. What do he and Bobby have in common? What makes their dynamic unique? They've been teammates in various iterations throughout the years. And in this first issue, Bobby is leading Bishop on their mission. Bobby, Sina Grace, super flaming Bobby Drake is leading Bishop. I can only assume that Bishop has had some sort of a stroke. The left side of his face is drooping down. He's wetting himself. Is Bobby capable of telling Bishop what to do? Are there subtext issues to address? It's going to be lit. I think they're gonna fund to have next to each other given Bobby, whatever. Yeah, don't proofread your stuff, Marvel. Just shit any political propaganda out. What am I talking about? I'm the only person in the country reading this interview, this far into it. Exploring identity is a huge theme in this series, and Bishop's a perfect character to have bounce off Bobby. Not only because he's more of a straight-laced than Iceman, but he's also this guy trying to establish himself in a world he's not from. Not something Bobby can relate to, after having come out to every single human being in his life. I forgot to mention that the first version of Iceman from this year just canceled like freaking 3 months ago. Every single thing was Bobby's first gay date, Bobby's first gay kiss, Bobby's first gay moving across the country to a guy he just met because gay. A great hallmark of your Iceman stories is emotional honesty. Something that can be a really difficult thing to pull off visually in a comic. To that end, what are your thoughts on Nathan Stockman's work? How effing God... Oh, yeah. Excuse me for taking the Lord's name in vain. I'm a little aggravated. I'm vibing super hard with Nathan. Each Iceman artist brought different strengths. With Nate readers, we'll see all of the dynamism of the previous arcs with an added layer of levity. To me, this arc is a reward, a celebration. We are gonna have fun. All that being said, because Nathan's so gosh darn versatile, expect no end to the deeply personal and emotional beats that folks appreciate in the first run. Like, from the layout stages, he has made me do a literal LOL, and also given me chills on a page with the reveal of Redacted. Nathan's character designs are also super bold and unique. It's like if his pages of Spidey had a baby with his work on X-Men Blue, and the baby was also born with Omega 11 powers. Love him! This is the fucking actual things he's saying. So, pre-order Iceman by Sina Grace and Nathan Stockman. Yeah, nobody's pre-ordering this trash. So, what we have seen is Marvel, most likely Marvel Corporate, most likely Disney Corporate, bending the knee to these freak shows who have to have GoFundMe's to buy themselves sandwiches. These people did not buy the book. They didn't read the book. They don't know anything about the book. So failure has been rewarded. Failure is being given another number one, another series. And he has learned absolutely nothing. There was actually aspects of Ta-Nehisi learning when he was talking about Captain America. Learning when he rebooted Black Panther. He realized it's a visual medium, you need more action. This is just, you were fabulous, and right, Narcissus got it canceled, but we talked to HR and it's back. And the sales are going to be pathetic. Although I can literally see them overshipping every single issue from now on. This is a complete scam. I don't think this comes from C.B. Cebulski. I believe in things like this. He is absolutely powerless. This is not a business decision. This is a political decision. By the way, that M on Bishop's face, it's not a hologram projected onto his skull. Why is it not curving into the curvature? Whatever, nothing matters. Anyway, yeah, I'm salty. Excuse me, salt melts ice. So why am I disgusted with this? It's giving in to SJWs who don't buy comics. It's a rewarding failure. You want X-Men, you want to bring back ICEMAN because you got hit up by a bunch of normie websites for being against diversity. There was no reason you had to bring back Sina Grace. You give a competent writer. You give Ed Brisson. I think Iron Fist is probably being canceled or just got canceled. You give it to, I don't know, Fabian Nicieza, Scott Lobdell. You give it to a writer who's in the industry on merit, not a complete joke fraud like Sina Grace. Anyway, I gotta get back to my regular job. Thanks for watching. I'm very aggravated. A headache. This is how many more? What was this? Is this another 50 stores going out of business? You could have been debuting a book that would sell. No. All politics, all the time. Anyway, thanks for watching. And I'll have more comic. I'm probably gonna do that Amazing Spider-Man 800 next. Thanks. Bye.